So I'm thinking about taking a loop hike this morning. See if I can get out to some of these other groves that are harder to get to. Some nice winding trails through here. Hoping to put together a nice little loop. There's a lot of history here with a lot of these groves. And people that came together in order to preserve these trees. And it's a really special place to do a lot of hiking through some of these and discover what it is that all these people thought was so important to protect. So I'm currently in the big trees area, and this area here is, you cross over a little stream and it gets over to this beautiful grove, and there's nobody out here. I'm out here all alone. And I look across here and it looks like ancient forest. I mean, it looks like you could see a dinosaur walk through here. There's giant ferns. I'm suspended on a fallen redwood that's suspended between two redwood trees up about 25 feet off the ground. Behind me is another fallen redwood that's holding the other end of this tree up, so I'm basically on a tree bridge. The sun's dropping down in certain areas and casting some light on some of these beautiful ferns. Clovers everywhere. Here's a young redwood here that's starting to make its way up. From what I understand, the redwood trees actually grow pretty quickly. They survive upwards of 2,000 years, but they survive so long because their bark is probably almost a foot thick, and so that helps them withstand forest fires. The root systems join together amongst the different trees, and that helps stabilize them. Even though they only have about 12-foot deep root system, their roots spread out and they connect to one another, which helps them stand up during earthquakes. Just really amazing, really amazing. It's really special to come out here by yourself. Come out and spend some time, hike on one of these trails, be alone. Just feel tiny, standing at the roots and standing at the foundation of these trees. Helps put life into perspective.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, one of the famous John Muir quotes is written in the front of my book, and he says, "Each more melodious note I hear brings this reproach to me, that I alone afford the ear, who would the music be? And I've always really loved that quote. And my interpretation of that quote is the fact that when you're out here in nature, spending time out here, you feel something and you hear something. And I've mentioned this before in past videos, but I can't say it enough, that to be out here in nature, you sense a vibration, a frequency. And Muir and Thoreau and Emerson all referred to that sort of energy, vibration, that frequency as a divine music, which is why I named my book Rediscovering Your Divine Music, which takes you through a process of going out into nature and spending time reconnecting with the source. You know, being a creator is one thing. Being in the workplace, creating something that advances humanity in some way, maybe. But being a conscious creator is something entirely different. And what I mean by that can be summed up pretty easily by the creation of the Grove, purchased by the California Federation of Women's Clubs, that was early on in the process of creating this state park, which eventually became a national park in parts of it. These fine individuals came together and created something meaningful. You know, often I come across people who are so consumed by what they're doing in their work, but their work isn't necessarily doing something to consciously advance humanity toward sustainability, toward connection, meaningful connection, and to create things that help allow future generations to be able to sustain on this planet and to share in the beautiful wonder and joy of what nature has to provide right now while we're here during this brief moment of time. It's important to take all this in. Take all this in. Take this in. This is the result of people choosing to protect something beautiful as opposed to seeing dollar signs and cutting it down. So while I was researching this trip, I came across an organization called the Lost Coast League, and I've since joined that organization of people who are eager to protect all the forests between the ocean and the redwoods that create the environment that allow these redwoods to thrive. Redwoods like cooler weather, they like fog, and of course with climate change, that can certainly have an adverse effect on these beautiful groves. The Lost Coast League's tagline is "Protect the best and restore the rest." I have a lot of appreciation for that motto. Oldest of living things, what wisdom forests teach, stirring man's heart to thought deeper than speech.